Mix 1041 and MixTV.tv. We are joined by our friends from Allon Planning Partners. We have Jay and Brittany Hagee here in the studio with us. How are you all?
We're doing great, Bridget. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, great to see you as always. So today's going to be a part 1 of 2 series because there's so much to cover. So we're going to talk about common mistakes and pitfalls that people face when it comes to financial planning. So let's start it off.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we want to pinpoint some things to help folks avoid these mistakes. That's the goal, not to point out, hey, people always make these mistakes, but to point out, hey, here's some things to be aware of so you don't fall into this pit yourself. So one would be not setting clear goals, which seems pretty basic, but it happens when you're looking at current as well as future goals. So like even as simple as spending, what you're spending in your spending plan, or, making sure you know what's actually going out, what's coming in, what's going out, having that clearly defined goal parameters. And then also for your future, setting clear goals for that. And so instead of saying, I want to save as much as I can for my future. I want to save as much as I can for retirement. Making that more specific. I want to ensure that I have X amount of dollars to last me through retirement for the rest of my life. Or I want to ensure that I have enough to live on and then have X amount of dollars to pass on to an organization I care about, or my kids or loved ones or grandkids' college, whatever it is.
Sure.
Like make it specific so that we can actually help you work to achieve those goals, or so that you can work to achieve those goals. Like you have to have a specific destination in mind. So instead of just saying, hey, I want to go to Florida next week. Okay, that's great. Where in Florida? Like, is it Tampa? Is it Jacksonville? Is it Miami? The path is going to look very different based on where you're going to land. So clearly defining those goals.
Yeah, and I think we have the privilege of meeting with hundreds of folks every year, and we help you set these defined goals. So some folks are just like, I just want to save as much as possible for retirement, like Brittany said. But like, what does that look like for you? And we start with your current goals. So like, where is your current income plan? Where is your current spending plan? We talk about this a lot. It's no guilt, no shame. We have people that come in all the time that say, I really don't know how much we're spending every month, right? Yeah. So we start basic. We start, where's your income? Where are your expenses right now? And a lot of folks like, well, in retirement, I'll probably only need 70% of what I'm spending right now. Nope. That's not true. Yeah. We want to make sure that you have 100% plus inflation, because it's eating away our purchasing power.
Don't tune us out because we're talking basics like spending plan.
Right.
Because if you can get the basics right, it's amazing what a difference it makes in the long run. If you can get a few of these really core concepts down and working for you, saving the right amount of money, the right positioning with your investments, clearly defined goals, you will find 10 years down the road, 15 years down the road, you'll look back and be like, oh man, I'm where I wanted to be.
That's right.
So these little things that you kind of dismiss, or yeah, I know that, I understand that, if you really apply them, it makes a massive difference.
We're talking with Jay and Brittany Hagee with Allon Planning Partners. You can call them at 423-315-1441, online at allonplanning.com. You guys really do make things so simple for people and really take the fear out of the huge topic of financial planning.
Yeah, we want to demystify, these areas where it seems like, I can just be talked over, or it's over my head, or I don't understand all of this and how it works. We want to make sure that you understand every concept when it comes to financial planning. And one of those pitfalls that we see a lot of times is folks believing that their investment, their single investment, whether it's a 401k or IRA or Roth IRA, we're so grateful that you're already putting into that, but it's not your financial plan. That is maybe an investment strategy that you have and an investment management plan, but there's so much more when it comes to financial planning that you want to understand, like, how am I going to get the income off of these dollars that I'm saving over time? I have a partner in a lot of these tax deferred plans, and that's Uncle Sam. How do I make sure I do not overpay him? You have to have a good tax plan. There's a lot of things that go along with this, estate planning, healthcare planning. You have to make sure that you have a comprehensive plan, and it really includes all 5 of those areas I just mentioned, whether it's investments or income or taxes or estate planning or healthcare planning. You want to make sure that you understand that you have defined goals, like we just talked about, for each one of those areas. Not just, man, I'm just putting away a little bit over here, and I don't really know how it's working for me, or if I'm really going to get to that goal. We want to take away all the fear around that and let you know we can put a plan together to help you get to that retirement goal that you have.
Well, and we understand that even just in hearing all of that can probably feel a little overwhelming, or like, man, that's a lot.
Fear.
So don't hear this and feel overwhelmed.
Right.
We walk folks through this step by step by step. We hold your hand. We help you navigate through, so you're not just trying to juggle it all and figure it all out. We kind of, plant our flag in education. We want folks to understand. We want folks to be educated in their options, which is why we wrote this book. We wrote the Allon Approach, which talks about purpose-based planning and how that can actually bear fruit in your financial life.
Right.
And so this is a resource we give to everybody who comes in and sits down with us on a first appointment.
Yeah.
It's complimentary. We just offer the book, and it gives some real tangible, practical tips, resources, action steps. So you get the knowledge, but then you also get challenged at the end of each section with action steps. Okay, this is great information, but what's it mean to me? How do I apply this? So you don't have to go it alone. We want to walk with you to help you navigate through this big picture.
Yeah, and if you want to receive a copy of that book, you can go to our website, allonplanning.com. That's ALLON planning.com, and schedule a complimentary consultation, because if we sit with you, we can take some of that fear away from you that you're feeling about whether it's setting a goal for buying a new car or setting a goal for retirement and bigger planning. We want to make sure that you have the resources in order to get to the goals that you have. You can call us 423-315-1441 and schedule that complimentary consultation. We would love to connect with you and your family and see how intentional goal setting and intentional planning can help ease your mind and get you to those goals that you have.
You guys help people day in and day out. That's Jay and Brittany Hagee with Allon Planning Partners. Again, their number is 423-315-1441 and allonplanning.com. Folks can reach out to you and avoid these common mistakes and pitfalls. So we're going to talk about more of those coming up in our next interview. Thank you all so much for coming in today.
Thanks,
we
Bridget.
appreciate it.
Thanks.
Investment advisory services are offered through Foundations Investment Advisors, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. The content provided is intended for informational and educational purposes only. The views, statements, and opinions expressed herein are those of the individual speakers and not necessarily those of Foundations and its affiliates. The information contained herein does not constitute an offer to sell any securities or represent an express or implied opinion or endorsement of any specific investment opportunity, offering, or issuer. Any discussion of performance or returns is not indicative of future results. Each individual investor's situation is different, and any ideas provided may not be appropriate for your particular circumstances. Foundations only transacts business in states where it is properly registered or is excluded or exempted from registration requirements. Registration as an investment advisor is not an endorsement of the firm by securities regulators and does not mean the advisor has achieved a specific level of skill or ability. No legal or tax advice is provided. Always consult with a tax professional. All rights reserved.